Good morning. Here is the news at 10. First, the highlights. Lagos State Government advocates stakeholders' collaboration for environmental innovation. Federal Government declares readiness to strengthen drug abuse prevention programs. On the foreign scene, North Korea conducts underwater nuclear weapons system tests. And in sport, Super Eagles head coach charges team to brace up despite victory against Cote d'Ivoire. Now the details. I am Dele Agadumo. Lagos State Government has identified the need to bridge the gap between public and private sectors, academia and civil societies in harnessing the collective strength and resources for the adoption of environmental innovations. Special Advisor to Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu on Environment, Kunle Rotimi Akodu, made this known at the maiden edition of Environmental Education Engagement, saying stakeholders work together to accelerate the development and adoption of environmental innovations. Stressing the importance of stakeholder participation in open and transparent communication, Rotimi Akodu said as the whole world is facing unprecedented challenges, it is important that key stakeholders come together and forge a path towards a sustainable lifestyle for all. According to him, stakeholders sharing values, experiences, and best environmental practices would collectively identify innovative solutions that have the potential to transform the relationship with the environment, saying no single entity can solve these complex challenges alone. In his welcome address, the Permanent Secretary, Office of Environmental Services, Omobolaji Gaji, stated that the maiden edition of the Environmental Education Stakeholders Engagements was to deliberate on a topic of utmost importance to every sector in the state. The Permanent Secretary, who spoke through the Director, Environmental Sanitation Services, Hassan Sanouf, said in a fast-changing world with increased environmental challenges, it is imperative to foster collaboration and support among all stakeholders to address the challenges sustainably. As part of the ongoing construction of the Mushi Flyover Bridge for the Lagos Mass Rail Transit Project, Red Line, Lagos State Government has announced a 6-week traffic diversion at Kayode and Ogumokun Streets in Mushi. The diversion will commence today till 29th February. To this end, motorists on Kayode Street moving towards Mushi will be diverted to Ikorodu Road towards Jibowu, onward Mashalashi Empire to connect Agege Motor Road. Also, motorists from Majolate Street as Kayode Junction can connect Matomi Street, onward Giwa Street, and route Ayonuga Street, as those on Olateju Street will be diverted to Koka Street to link Agege Motor Road. Motorists on Ijaye, Ogunsoya, and Awoyejo Street are to connect Adidoja Street to link Alhaji Lasisi for their desired destinations. In a statement, Commissioner for Transportation Oluwaseun Oshiyemi said Agowu Street, Adeniyi Street, Lawanson Crescent will be cordoned off from entering Kayode Street. Oshiyemi assured motorists that officials of the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, LASMA, will be on ground to help them navigate their way through the construction zones. The Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, FAN, says it is relocating its headquarters from Abuja to Lagos, its original base, in the interest of the authority and the nation. This is contained in a statement by the Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection, FAN, Obiageli Ora. Ora said the decision was taken after wide consultations with stakeholders, which included aviation unions. She said the public had made inquiries regarding the directive of the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, to return the authority to Lagos, where it operated for decades until recently. The Federal Capital Territory Administration, FCTA, has earmarked 1.7 billion naira in the 2024 budget for the establishment of a pilot smart secondary school in the FCT. The FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike, said this in Abuja at an event organized to celebrate the accomplishments of public school students in FCT in academics and sports. Wike, who was represented by the Mandate Secretary, Education Secretariat, FCTA, Danlami Hayo, said the move was to align with global trends in digital teaching and learning. According to him, the smart school would be located in Kashi, a community under Abuja Municipal Area Council, and would be equipped with boarding and digital facilities for e-teaching and learning. Now to the rest of the stories. The Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare has declared its readiness to work with the Reorientation Advocacy of Nigeria, RAN, and other stakeholders to strengthen prevention programs on drug abuse and treatment. According to the ministry, the partnership will specifically target people with drug use disorders. Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Mohammed Pati, who was represented by at a partnership meeting by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Kacholong Daju, expressed the readiness of the ministry to play a major role in addressing the issue of drug abuse. This, the minister said, would be targeted among the youth, women and adolescents in the country, in line with the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu's administration. The federal government is expected to pay as much as 1.6 trillion naira to subsidize electricity in the year 2024. Chairperson of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, Sanusi Garba, stated this while speaking at a press conference in Abuja. NERC also unveiled a new electricity tariff plan payable by electricity consumers in the country with effect from 1st of January. Garba explained that the plan contains the federal government's policy on ensuring that due to the cost of living crisis, consumers will not be made to pay higher than the previous rates. The House of Representatives Public Accounts Committee has directed the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment to refund 75 billion naira allocated to it as COVID-19 intervention funds. This resolution is sequel to a motion moved by lawmaker representing Cross River State, Basi Akiba, following the non-appearance of officials of the ministry at its investigative hearing. The committee adopted the motion after it was seconded and directed that the ministry should refund the said funds to the coffers of the federal government. It will be recalled that in a recent advertorial, the committee invited 59 ministries, departments and agencies to appear before it for the commencement of an investigative hearing on the alleged mismanagement of the funds meant to tackle the global health pandemic known as coronavirus. Now to foreign news. North Korea says it has carried out a test of its underwater nuclear weapons system in response to drills by the US, South Korea and Japan. According to reports, the tests of its supposedly nuclear-armed underwater drones took place off its east coast. There is no other evidence of the test being conducted, and Seoul had earlier said the North's description of the drone's capability were exaggerated. Japan declined to comment on the reports. The North has claimed tests of its HIL 523 system before, but the latest incident comes as the North ramped up military action in recent weeks. It's going to have deployed a new solid-field intermediate-range ballistic missile. Now, sports. Super Eagles head coach Jose Peseiro has warned his players there is still more work to be done despite their victory against Cote d'Ivoire. Peseiro says it is important for his side to remain humble and focus on the task ahead. The Eagles revived hopes of securing a berth in the round of 16 with a 1-0 victory against the hosts at the Alassane Ouattara Stadium. Centre-back William Troost-Ekong fired home the winning goal from the penalty spot on 55 minutes after Victor Osimhen fouled inside the box. And that is our news at 10. Just before we go, speed thrills but kills. Avoid excessive speeding. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X, formerly Twitter, Lagos Traffic 961, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Watch us live on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. On YouTube, subscribe and watch all our previous programs and news on our channel, Traffic Radio 961. Did you know the Sanwo-Olu administration began community tourism initiative? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Government has identified the need to bridge the gap between public and private sectors, academia and civil societies in harnessing the collective strength and resources for the adoption of environmental innovations. The Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare has declared its readiness to work with the reorientation advocacy of Nigeria and other stakeholders to strengthen prevention programs on drug abuse and treatment. We also told you that North Korea has carried out a test of its underwater nuclear weapons system in response to drills by the US, South Korea and Japan. And in sports, Super Eagles head coach Jose Peseiro has warned his players there is still more work to be done despite their victory against Cote d'Ivoire. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to Lagos Traffic Radio at lagosstate.gov.ng. And that ends the news broadcast compiled by Adirayo Iduwolaya. I am Dele Agadumo. Good morning. Thank you for listening.